Initiating bust.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Sardine here. Today I'm going to be reading and reviewing Spider-Man Miles Morales. I know this game came out like a while ago, I think sometime late in 2020, but it just recently, sometime last year, like late last year, came out on Steam, and I was finally able to play it this month, and we're going to do a bus ladder on it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get into it. So first, we're going to talk about the story of the game. So, obviously, by the title of the game, we follow Miles Morales, and the story takes place after he gets his powers. You have to play the game before, I think, Spider-Man, to see how Miles gets his powers. And that's another thing that I might have to reduce points on. It makes sense. But the fact that you have to play so many games beforehand just to get the lore of Miles Morales kind of sucks. But all I did was I just watched like a bunch of people play the games, so I got caught up on the lore before I played it. But anyway, so you follow Miles Morales. He had just moved into Harlem in New York City, and he has these spider powers, and it's it's like the cliche stuff. He doesn't want to tell anybody. He does have a friend, though, named Genki that does know he's Spider-Man and does help him with, like, some of his missions. And during the story, you find, or you battle out against, like, 2 or 3 main villains. So you have, like, the Roxxon people, you have the Tinkerer, which is, like, the underground, and then you have the Prowler, which is like a thief. And I wouldn't really say Prowler is like a antagonist of the story, but he's in that category. He's not exactly a protagonist. But anyway, so you're in New York City, you're doing Spider-Man things, and you have to take down this underground organization, and that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. I'm try not to get into spoilers, so that's just kind of where I'm going to stop with the story for now. All right, let's just go into the gameplay. The gameplay is great. This was my first ever Spider-Man game I've ever played, and the gameplay was great. Just swinging around New York City, it's so fun to do. You can just like load up the game, and if that's what you want to do, is just fly around the city. You can climb any structure you want to that's in the map area. You can climb anything you want to. You can go down anything you want to. It doesn't matter. And also the combat is very, very good. It takes a minute to get used to, but because there's just so many like buttons you have to memorize, and so many like combo things that you can memorize and you can have to use. It takes a minute to get used to, but after a while, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. And then again with the swinging and everything, the animations are just so good and crisp, because it kind of shows that Miles is like when it shows that he's new when it comes to being like a Spider-Man. So his like movements when he's swinging are kind of like just all over the place. They're not fixed, kind of like Peter's, to where he's just like swinging and he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't do any tricks, or he doesn't like flail while he's in the air. But with Miles, you can do tricks in the air, and like when he swings, he kind of just has like a free like range of motions that he does. He's not just swinging like mindlessly. He kind of does some stuff while he's in the air, and I think that's great. And other than that, it's a Spider-Man game. The gameplay's good. Another cool thing I do want to note, though, is you can unlock like all sorts of suits. So throughout the game, you'll progress. and you'll be able to unlock and like craft all different types of suits from like different universes, like different like Spider-Man universes. So you have maybe you have the suit from like Into the Spider-Verse or like any other suits, and then you have like some cool custom suits that are only exclusive in the game, like the Bodega Cat suit. Like those suits, it's just that whole system is pretty cool. Um, the one thing I will note though, when it comes to like the skills, because this game does have a skill tree, and when it comes to that, it's kind of lacking in a lot of stuff. There's not really a lot of new moves that you get throughout the game in terms of combat. You're kind of just stuck with the same moves over and over again. So, because in the skill tree, you don't really unlock moves, you unlock like upgrades pretty much to like things you already have. And I think that's pretty bad in my opinion, but maybe that's just something that the game developers kind of had in mind. I don't know. But it is something that I don't exactly like with the game, so that's going to reduce some points. But another redeeming factor of the game is the gadgets that you get throughout the game. So you have web shooters, obviously, that can like you see them in movies. You can like put an enemy up against a wall or like web them up against a wall. You have those. You have these things called holo drones, and you also have proximity mines and gravity wells, and all of those you can use to your advantage. Either it's like stealth, or like if you just want to go all out, you can use those to your advantage. And I think that's a cool addition to the game. I don't know if it was in any other Spider-Man game, but if it was, then, well, it's a cool addition to the game. It kind of spices up combat from like now and then. Another thing with the combat, I know I'm talking about combat a lot, but that is like one of the main focals of the game. The fact that you can use your environment to your advantage. So if you've ever played the game before, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, while you're in fights, you can use the environment and you can like web something and you can throw it at somebody to do damage. You have like destructible environment, and I think that's great. Another thing that I don't really like about the game is how short it is. I don't really know the reason why it's so short. I may have seen it somewhere on why it was so short, but I didn't really read it, I guess. But the game is like, the main game is like 8 to 10 hours long, and that is extremely short. I've only had this game for like a week, I think, and I've already beat the game twice. And I've already 100% of the game, not on achievements, but in terms of doing everything in the game. Voice crack, excuse me. But yeah, not achievement wise, but in terms of doing everything in the game that's possible, no like hidden stuff, I've 100% of the game. Anyway, let's talk about like, so you're done with the story, what can you do afterwards? Well, the side quests that you have are pretty diverse, and they're pretty cool. So during the game, I wouldn't really consider this a spoiler, but during the game, you and your friend Genki develop a like app for people to use. That so they like, if there's a crime going on nearby, they put it in the app and it notifies you, hey, you have this crime going on nearby, or if someone needs help, they can request help from you through the app, and that's like your side quest kind of like type thing. And they're all like, whether you restart the game or not, they're all the same side quests. So, but they're all very diverse. You got some where you have to go save like a cat. and then there's some where you have to go like rescue like a hostage or something, and there's some that you go like recover toys for a little Christmas thing, because it is set in Christmas time. It's just they're all very diverse, but they don't exactly take too long to complete. And again, I don't know why, but maybe that's just something that the developers wanted to do. And there's also things you can get from like during the story. You unlock side quests that you can do, or like side missions. So there's like you can go and you can make music, yeah. You can make music out of like city sounds. So you go around the map and you record sounds of certain parts of the city, and at the very end, once you've collected all the sounds, you make a little beat out of it. I won't lie, if you know what I'm talking about, the beat is very bad. But considering it's just city sounds, it's pretty good, I guess. But the beat is pretty bad. So they could have improved on that aspect. But and then there's a part where you can do like a scavenger hunt, and it's just like, it kind of has to do with some stuff in the story. I don't really know how to explain this game. That's why you kind of hear me struggling. I don't really know how to explain this game. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a Spider-Man game. It's like your cliche Spider-Man game. It's just, I don't know what to say about it. If you've ever watched any Spider-Man movies, or if you've ever played any Spider-Man games, you know how it's going to roll. It's just, I do think though that Miles Morales is such a better character than Peter Parker. He's got so much more personality, and obviously, yes, he's a teenager. They kind of portrayed him as, kind of more lax than Peter. But I like Miles' personality more. I don't know if that's because I'm a teenager. I don't know. I just like Miles Morales more. And yeah, I think that'll just do it for this review. It's a really good game. It's very short. I wouldn't really say it's worth $60. But it was definitely good, and you could definitely go back and keep playing it over and over again. It's a great game. But just because it's so short, I would have to give this a 4 out of 5 on the bus ladder. It's almost a perfect game, but I can't give it a 5 out of 5 just because of how short it is. And during the game, I didn't really encounter any bugs or anything, except for one time. I might put a clip in there of the bug. It was during the boss fight at the very end. But yeah, this game would get a perfect score, but it's just, I don't really like how short it is. If the game was longer, that it would probably be 5 stars, or 5 out of 5. But that's going to do it for this video. It's kind of a shorter video, and it's kind of a more uncut. You can hear me stutter a lot more. It's kind of just a more raw video. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was my rating and review of Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.